keeping it 100 Oklahoma high school sports on this Friday afternoon. Folks, I know we've been doing a little Zoom, but I got my man Big E back next to me. Feeling good to have him back in studio with me, folks. And we're going to bring you a good show. You know, we got some good things under the tent. We'll talk a little bit. High school state championship wrestling kicks off this week. We already have one winner in the house, our female that we had on a couple weeks ago, Miss Peyton Hand.
Yep. She
brings home the 112-pound state champion. Not one, but two-time state champion. Congratulations to her, Coach Benny, Coach Becca, and the rest of the coaching crew over at Choctaw. But I tell you, Big E, we got a lot going on, man. You know, some new coaches moving around, changing jobs. But what's been going on with you, though?
Not much. Just working. Got school going on. You know, I mean, still same old for the most part. So.
Well, that's good, though, man. I'm glad to have us back in studio. I know we've had some Zooms, and it's a little different doing a Zoom, but it's been fun. We still got the kept shows going. But, folks, we need everybody to get back on board and keep watching, keep it 100. We will start going back to the Anchor and Spotify, so you can listen to us. If you can't see our beautiful face, you can listen to our beautiful voice. That's what we do. We keep it 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. I'm telling you, man, I'm kind of excited, man. You got a lot going on with wrestling, man. This is a big week. As you can see, I got all my little wrestling gear stuff up for these special young men and women that's going for a state championship, man, because you might not never get there again. You might get there, and you might not never get back. So that's a plus if you can get back. Some of these kids are going for their second, third, or even their first state championship. So we'll kind of get into that. Talk about what's going on, because today they got the 4 and 5A is wrapping up. Their state finals will be tonight. You know, they kind of changed the format. If you guys listen with Goose, we had him a couple weeks ago, and he kind of talked about it. You know, it's going to be wrestle, you know, all day long. Get it over with. Tomorrow it'll be 3 and 6A. They'll be battling for their state championship. But tonight is 4 and 5A. Like I said, congratulations to each young man that made it that far. I know we'll kind of start off real quick, kind of wrap it through. We're going to kind of talk about the guys that's in the finals. At 106 4A, who we got in the finals?
We got Sanders from Blanchard. It doesn't show up their first name. Hold on. Okay, there it is. Aiden Sanders from Blanchard. And then we got Matt Patton from Skytook.
Skytook, both good programs. Cody Hill's a head coach over at Blanchard. You know, he used to be over at Choctaw, but now he's at Blanchard doing his thing. Again, kids moving around and win the state. Hopefully that young man can get a state champion for Cody. And then the Blanchard Lions. Who we got at the next week?
113, we got, looks like Brandon Potts from Tuttle. And then we got Guy Clevenger from... it's abbreviated on here. It says Cato, C-A-T-O. I can't put a finger on what school that is.
Don't know what school it is, folks. If you know what school it is, tweet us and let us know what it is. But, you know, you got the young man from Tuttle, which Tuttle has a great program year in, year out. You know, like I said, the coach did step down and became the principal. Now, you know, they got a new head coach, but I guess it ain't nothing that's fell off. They did lose one duel this year to Mustang. First time they lost a duel in many, many years. But like I said, as far as going to state championship, they're looking to win another title. What we got next week?
At the next weight, we got at 120. We got another Tuttle guy, Aston Grounds. He'll be going up against... They make this kind of hard to look at. Jace Cavness from STIL, which we're in 4A, so my mind went to Stillwater, but that's definitely not Stillwater.
It's not Stillwater. But like I said, look again. You got another Tuttle young man sitting in the finals, man. Like that's what Tuttle do each year and year out. Find a way to get their young men in the state finals, and so they can win a championship. So congratulations to that young man at that weight.
All right, and at the next weight at 126, we got Brody G from Skyatook, another Skyatook guy, and then we got Hayden Lemons from Cushing.
Cushing, both, like I said, another great, good programs. Skyatook, you know, out there close to Tulsa, man. I mean, they do their thing as far as wrestling, and then getting these guys in the finals, man. Like I said, each year Tuttle has always been a powerhouse, but you know, Skyatook is putting kids in there too. So, congratulations to both of those young men, and good luck to them tonight.
Yeah. See, it looks like there we go. All right, so 4A 132, another Tuttle guy. We got Hayden Brown. He'll be taking on Luke Arberg from Cushing, another Cushing guy. for the state championship in the 4A 132 division.
Like I said, Darius Tuttle again. I mean, even though they lost their coach, Serber, but they still find a way to keep getting those guys in there. Like I said, it's an oil machine over there in Tuttle, man. No matter who takes over that program, they're going to find a way to get those guys in the state championship.
4A 138, we're keeping up with the trend of Tuttle guys being in the finals. We got Reese Davis. He'll be going up against Josh Taylor from Skiatook, another Skiatook guy.
I tell you, Skiatook and Tuttle's battling for who's going to be the state championship and who's going to get that ring, you know. So, once again, good luck to those young men at, 138?
Yes, sir.
138.
Yeah. And then another Tuttle guy at 145. We got Bryce Dolphin. Not Dolphin, not the animal. Dolphin, Dauphin. And then we got, Isaac Long from Skiatook.
Know a little bit about Dolphin, man. He comes from a good wrestling background family. His uncles, his wrestler's brother. My kid got a chance to wrestle him in junior high state. I think they're 7th or 8th grade year, and you already know my kid came on top, so congratulations. That's keeping it 100. But Dolphin is a good wrestler, man. He's looking to win his second state championship, so good luck to him and his crew. Like I said, Tuttle, man, like I said, they're trying to win another title for the school, so putting that many kids in the state finals, man, they win 3 or 4 of those, man, they're going to lock up another ring this year.
Yes, sir. And then at 4A 152, we got KJ Evans from HHS. What is that? Is Heritage Hall? Is that 4A?
It might be Heritage Hall, baby.
I don't know. I think Heritage Hall is in 4A, so Evans from Heritage Hall. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm sure somebody will. And then Braden Drake from Wagner for the finals in 4A 152.
Well, I did see that something on Twitter the other day that Heritage Hall put about 9 kids in the state finals, so it could be a Heritage Hall kid. So good job with those guys over at Heritage Hall, man. You know, it's known as a football powerhouse, but they do a little bit of wrestling too. So good job to the coaching staff over there at Heritage Hall. And Wagner, Wagner's out there going towards El Reno that way. So don't know much about those teams because they're way on the other side of the state, but obviously that young man knows his wrestling because he's in the finals, baby.
Yes, sir.
We're at 160.
At 160, 4A, we got EJ Balanchik, another Heritage Hall guy, and we got Tucker Waitman from Tuttle, another Tuttle guy.
There you go. Now Heritage Hall, at these big boys, they're starting to put guys in the finals, but Tuttle keep doing it. Like I said, Tuttle already got that ring wrapped up, man. Get him another state championship because, like I said, they win 3 or 4 of those, baby. It's theirs. So good job to Tuttle again.
Yeah.
Server left those guys in good hands, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Then at 4A 170, got Chance Cobb from Tuttle taking on Cougar Anderson. What a name that is. Cougar.
All those women like old Cougar, don't they?
Yeah, he's another Skiatook guy. So another Tuttle versus Skiatook. You know, you see a lot of Tuttle on here, a lot of Skiatook. Starting to see a trend of Heritage Hall, seen a few Cushing guys. So I think any of those teams are in the running, but I mean, I think Tuttle's definitely got the upper hand so far.
Locked up, huh?
Yeah. And then at 4A 182, we got Sam Schmidt from, you guessed it, Tuttle, taking on Caden Charbonneau. Hopefully I didn't butcher that, but Caden Charbonneau from Wagner.
There you go, another Wagner young man, but guess what? Another Tuttle young man.
Yep. And then we got at 4A 195, we got Cohen Gallagher from Ada taking on Hunter Hall from Skiatook for the 195 state championship.
First time Ada had one kid in there, so good job. You know, Ada's a football program, but they found a way to sneak a kid in the state finals for wrestling. So good luck to that young man and taking on what, Skiatook?
I believe so. Let me go back and look.
It's all good.
Yeah, Skiatook.
What we at? What, 220?
Yes, sir. 220. We got Harley Andrews from Tuttle.
Tuttle again.
And then we got Omari Smith from Heritage Hall.
Heritage Hall. I mean, like I said, Heritage Hall, I think I think they took 9 guys. Right now they got 3 in the final, so not a bad job for a private school, you know, that's they're competing with the big 4A schools. So congratulations to both of those young men.
Yep. And then wrapping up 4A at 285, the big guys division. We got Ryder Weiss from Blanchard. And then we got, where is he? Oh, Gabe Grazier from, the abbreviation is OOLO.
Oogagaw?
That might be it. Ulaga, whatever. I don't know.
It could be Ugaga. If we're butchering these things, folks, help us out because
Oklahoma's got some weird town names.
But like I said, congratulations to both of those guys. But folks, like you said, we got some good hot things we're going to talk about. The new head coach that's we brought it first to you on Keep It 100. A couple weeks ago, we talked about who might get that job, and
you predicted it.
Yeah, guess what? One thing we do at Keep It 100, we get it right, baby. We get it right. These other sportcasters, high school podcasters, and OK Prep, and these people, they're not getting what we're giving you. When we're giving it to you just right, like I told you, Mike Dunn. We'll have him on here in a few minutes after we talk to what?
Some of our sponsors.
Be right back.
Thank you.
Keep it at 100. What's wrong, Zoe?
Hey, don't worry, Tony. We got our guys at Proactive Protect to keep us safe. They can come out to your house, school, or even your business. You can give them a call at 844-X-Virus-X, which is 844-984-7879, or you can visit them at proactiveprotect.com.
You're always protected by Proactive Protect. Welcome back to Keep It at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports with my man Big E. We got a special guest tonight, the new and the one and only new head coach of the Carl Albert Titans, Coach Mike Dunn. How you doing, Coach Mike Dunn?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we can't complain.
Yeah, doing pretty good.
So, Coach Dunn, I mean, I know this is kind of a shock. You know, you've been at Dell City the last 4 years, and then you come over to a school that you played at, know very well, you know, from middle school, elementary, all the way to high school. Now you get to come back home and coach a team that you once played at. So how does that make you feel, Coach?
Man, it's a bittersweet feeling, I tell you that. You know, it was tough just leaving Dell City because, you know, we put a lot of work in there over the last 4 years, and you know, those kids are doing everything we're asking them to do, so it's tough looking them in the eye and telling them that you're going somewhere else. But, you know, this Carl Albert it's home for me. Anytime you get a chance to have an impact on a program that had a life-changing impact on me, you got to be excited about it. So, you know, I'm extremely excited to get to work with great kids, and it's an established staff, and Miss Goggins, the principal. There's just so many things, so many pieces in place besides the obvious success they've had and the traditions. It's one of those programs, just a special place from top to bottom.
Well, that's cool, Coach. I mean, you know, like you said, you got the job. You know, when the job came open, was it something that you kind of thought about, hey, I want to go after this, or did you kind of sit down with the wife and you know, with your staff, or, you know, what was the decision factor that you said, hey, you know what, I'm just going to take this journey, and you know, this program has built itself, won 15 of the last 16 state championship, you know, won 5 in a row. You know, you're following two great, highly talented coaches, and, you know, Coach Rose and Coach Corley. I don't know if you got a chance to play for either one of those guys, but, you know, just following their steps and, you know, doing the things that you've done, you know, being at Dell City, playing Carl Albert last year to a close game. Now you become the face of Carl Albert. So what was kind of the deciding factor to make you say, you know what, I'm just going to get this baby?
Yeah, well, when it came open, obviously I was surprised and shocked that Corley was going to take a step back and wanted to have a different role within the program. And, you know, at first, you know, your first thought is, wow, you know, that's a big job. And you know, as close as I've been to the program, even when I was down in Texas, I always stayed in touch with those guys, and, you know, I always kept a thumb on the happenings and things that were going on there. And so, you know, at first, though, all I could think about was, you know, at Dell City, we've got a really good thing going on. You know, we're established, and we've got good kids coming back. We've got some young talent. I mean, it's everything that you want there. And so it was a tough decision. But when I went home that weekend, I had coaches calling me Friday when it opened up, and then Saturday. And it wasn't probably until about Sunday or Monday that, you know, after talking to my wife, and, you know, that was a big part of the decision that I made. And then, you know, talking with my mom and dad, and then talking with guys on staff. You know, at Dell City, we've got, you know, at least 3 guys from Carl Albert that played for Coach Rose like I did. And, you know, just talking to some of those guys and talking to them about the job. And everybody wants us all Carl Albert alum always want to see it stay in good hands. They want to make sure that someone is going to take it that's going to make sure they keep the traditions going. And so when you start thinking about that, I felt like I had a responsibility almost to alumni and to the program itself. And so, it didn't take a lot of thought once I started feeling that way. And so I went ahead and I actually talked to Coach Rose a little bit about it, and I went ahead and put my name in the hat probably on Sunday or Monday morning. I can't remember, and ended up going all in after it. So, but you're 100% correct. It's big shoes to fill, obviously. Coach Rose having the success he had, and how many men that he created over there, and then Coach Corley. It's usually the guy that follows the legend is usually the one that falls flat on his face. And Coach Corley just went 52-2 and won 4 state championships in a row. So, it might be I might be that guy now, but I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that this thing is going to continue going in the right direction, and those standards and expectations are always kept.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you're walking into a program, obviously just won the past 5 state championships, but they also lost a lot of guys this past year. Ben Harris, he graduates and he walks on to OU, and then you got guys like Kobe Cruz and Javion Hunt that won't be there this next year, and then it's going to be a very, very different looking Carl Albert team next year. And what's a message to some of the supporters and things like that? Like, what are you going to try? What are you going to do? Obviously, I know you're going to try to keep winning. No coach walks into the place wanting to lose, but
sure,
just kind of what's your thoughts and everything going into this?
Yeah, well, and over there, everybody that's associated with Carl Albert understands that the expectation is always, they're playing for a state championship every year. Even those years that they don't win them, that's the expectation, and that's what we're always going to preach to our kids. And losing guys. The thing about Carl Albert is Carl Albert's won a lot of state championships with program guys. We were in the office just a while ago talking about the senior class in 2012, and 2 of those guys are actually coaching at Carl Albert right now. But that senior class 2012, I think there was 12 kids in it. It wasn't just from a talent standpoint, it wasn't your most talented Carl Albert team, and they started out 1-5, but it was one of those, Carl Albert miracle seasons, starting out 1-5, and then they won 8 in a row and won it all. Beat some really, really good teams in the playoffs, and I think 3 of the teams they played they got beat by in the regular season. So, anytime you're associated with Carl Albert, even when you're looking at it almost being like a rebuild, it still is going to be that place where you're 2 or 3 people away from nothing but a reload and going and competing. There's some really, really good players that are coming back. I've been in the weight room with them the last few days, and there's some young talent there that are going to keep this thing rolling. The big deal is finding the trigger man. Once you've had a quarterback that started for 4 years in a row and won 52 games doing it, that's tough to replace. We just did it at Del City. We replaced a 3-year starter at quarterback, and we stumbled a little bit early on because we didn't have spring ball and team camp and 7-on-7. We didn't have any of that stuff to really get it going. So I think that's something that's going to be very important to our success. Is we're hitting the weights hard right now and doing those things that you do to win championships, but we're also gonna hit spring ball hard this year. We're gonna go to a team camp, and we're gonna do a lot of 7-on-7. So I think once we get there, and I think we'll surprise people, because I think we're gonna be better than what people think.
Well, Mike, that's pretty funny that you say that. Some of the things that you just mentioned, like 7-on-7 camps, Colorado hasn't done that in many, many years. Has done 7-on-7 or done pad camps or spring ball or none of that kind of stuff. And that's something that you bring to tradition. And one, I think that's also going to help these kids get notarized, see people get to see him like a buddy. You probably got the best back in state that's coming back in your program. So that's, people can say, yeah, I lost Ben Harris, I lost Kobe Cruz, and I lost Russell, but I got the best back in the state coming back, in Buddy Brazil. Yeah. So that's a good start right there, kids, because the kid can carry the ball 25 times and rush for 250 yards and 4 touchdowns. So that's not a bad start, baby. I'm telling you right now, if I want to start a football team and I got first pick, I like to have that young man. But I think what you're
No
doing,
doubt.
I think what you're doing as far as having, like you said, spring ball, 707 camps is going to get coaches in there. And one thing that Carl Albert lacked on, and me and you both know, is that they lacked on getting kids recruited. And that's one thing that you are really, really, really good at, is getting kids recruited. And the funny thing is, Mike, I just talked to your dad before we even had this show. I was picking up Zoe, and he lives across the street from Hearst, and I didn't know your dad lived there. Me and him got to talking, and I was kind of telling him that. I said, man, one thing that your son's going to bring to this table is that he's going to get kids recruited. He's going to get kids. Man, think about you. You're on Twitter. You're good at social media. You're like another Lincoln Riley out there. You're getting these kids out there, getting them seen in front of people. Because a lot of people, Buddy might have had a hell of a year, but people don't know who he is. But I tell you what's going to happen. Mike Dunn is going to get him out there in front of these college coaches, because you do, not saying Corley and Rose didn't do those things because they're more old school, kind of like Coach Evans was over at Midwest City. But one thing that Mike Dunn's going to bring to the table, he's going to bring college coaches to the campus. He's going to bring college coaches to come out there and see these young men. So I know you lost 3 young men. They went to different schools. Xavier Ware. I know you don't know these guys very well, but Xavier Ware, D'Angelo Shakes, and then Lamario Curry, 3 guys that was big part of Carl Albert program, and they left because, one, they didn't think they was going to have, a good coach, not a coach, but a good quarterback to throw him the ball. But what's it going to take for you not to lose these kids? Because one thing to think about Carl Albert, it's like a big-time university. People don't leave Carl Albert. People come to Carl Albert. They don't leave. So I know you're going to shake that down and make sure kids are not going to leave your program.
Yeah, I think as a coach, you do have a responsibility to make sure that you're promoting the program first and always promoting the team first. But I tell kids all the time, the individual success definitely is going to come when you put the team first. And those are the guys that are easy to put out there. Like Buddy Bazell, he's a great kid first. And so it's easy for me to want to get on Twitter and want to put videos out there. And the way it is right now with recruiting, coaches can't be on campus, so you have to do some of that stuff. I mean, you have to get on Twitter and put a video on there of a kid in the weight room doing power clean, so you can show coaches not only is, you can see the film, he's a great player, but, I think if coaches got to see Buddy in person, and they would see a kid that is just an absolute freak of an athlete, and he's one of those guys that, people should be knocking the door down, and, it's going to take somebody that's willing to do it a little bit different, and do some things outside the box. And that's something that I'm willing to do, coming up in a coaching, in a different era. It's easier for me to figure out some of those things on social media and how you promote the brand. And that's a big thing that I want to do at Carl Albert is, everybody knows about the success. Everybody knows about the tradition. And honestly, that's the stuff that should talk for itself, but I want to show people how that success is made and how it comes and how these kids, how they work to get to it, and that's a big part of, when you get kids recruited, that's a big part of buy-in too. That just makes it where those younger guys, when you're down at the junior high, those younger guys are even wanting to even do more because they see these guys that are going on and doing big things in college.
No, I mean, that's perfect. Like I said, I know what you've done with Dell City, turning that program around, making the playoffs every year. Even though last year was a down year, like you said, COVID kind of hurt. You had a 3-year starter at QB in Quinlan, and then you kind of lose him. Then, you put Kobe there, which Kobe's a great running back. But, when he did play quarterback at Dell City a little bit when he was there, he won some games. But I think a lot of that had to do with people didn't know who Kobe was, and they was preparing for Quinlan because Quinlan was more of a passing quarterback, and Kobe was more of a running quarterback. But when people got a chance to get film on Kobe and study that, hey, not saying he wasn't a great passer, but he wasn't the same passer as Quinlan, so people could game plan a little different for him. But once you kind of got things going, and you did kind of switch, things last year at Dell City, moving the other kid to quarterback and Kobe to running back, you guys got you got rolling. That was one of those teams going to playoffs that, hey, I don't know if I want to face Dell City because you always had a great defense. So, going from Dell City to Carl Albert, are you going to change the offense any? Are you going to change any of the techniques? Because I know a lot of the coaches that you got at Carl Albert is going to stay on board and they're not going to leave. Are you going to bring anybody with you, or is everything going to be intact? Hey, the Dell City guys are going to stay in Dell City. My Carl Albert guys are going to be here, and I'm going to, get them together. And we're going to kind of do our thing over here. Are you going to change anything, or how's that going to work out?
No, right now the plan is to keep rolling exactly like we've been doing. You know, you look at Carl Albert, and it's definitely it is not a broke system, you know, by any means. It's not broke. Why fix it?
That's
you know,
it. That's it. Let's keep it at 100.
Yeah. It is one of those deals where, you know, defensively they're one of the tougher teams every single year, year in, year out. John Herbert is the defensive coordinator, and he's as good as they come. I mean, you talk about a guy he's a football junkie, and he's going to be one of those guys that stays, and he's never going to leave any stones unturned, and he's going to do everything in his power to put his kids in a great position every Friday night. And that's something, you know, as a, you know, when I was a defensive coordinator, that was something I always took a lot of pride in. And so, you know, I've watched how he works, and I see how he approaches things. And, you know, I'm really excited about getting to work with him. And then Brandon Johnson, the offensive coordinator, been doing it for, you know, he's been there since I coached there back the first time before I left to go out to Texas in 2004. You know, and he's a guy that's been calling the offense for at least 10 years, I know of, you know, and obviously, again, a guy that's got, you know, 10 state championships. He's called offense in 7 of those, you know, so anytime you got a guy that's obviously called offense in those kind of big time games and those big time moments and has gotten it done, it's just one of those things, you know, why change anything? And I, you know, with Del City, I care so much about this place, and I want Del City to continue to roll. You know, it's only good for the entire school district, and I genuinely care about these kids, and I want these kids to have good coaches. And I know the coaches here that are on staff are great men first, but they're also really, really good football coaches, and I don't want to mess with that, you know, especially with Carl Albert's got a great staff already established. And so I would rather this thing keep rolling over here, and these guys, you know, people get moved up, promoted, whatever happens over here. Those are things that, you know, that's one thing about moving along. You know, it's sad for a couple of days, you know, but then you start thinking about what's next. And so, you know, I just think there's such a good thing going on at both schools. You know, it's not worth messing with. And you know, I'm excited about what I get to work with over there, and I'm excited about the future of Del City as well.
No, I think you leave Del City in great hands. You know, a couple of weeks ago, me and he sat here and I kind of talked about how you can kill 2 birds in one stone. You know, Carl Albert hire you as the head coach, and then you know you can promote Robert Jones as the new Del City head coach. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know people's been on the Twitter talking about he's our man, who he want. I know you and Robert are good friends. I know you've had him as your defensive coordinator. I know he knows that program pretty good. I know you got some other guys on that staff too that's
sure.
real good. But I know Robert, you know, plays some college, you know, Division I ball, played at Oklahoma State, right?
Yep.
And so, you know, I know he got good ties to help him get kids recruited. And you guys have both done a really great job. You know, I don't know Robert that well. You know, I've seen him and, you know, kind of, you know, brief passing and talking, but I speak highly of him. And I know you speak highly of him. I know you look at him like a brother. So, like you said, you left Del City in good shape. But, you know, one of the things that, you know, that's going around, and I mean, we can get into it and you don't have to get into it because I know you got a different role. But one thing that I want to talk about with high school sports, and it's kind of like in the college deal now, it's like, it seems like these kids are not happy in a program and they say, oh, shoot, I'm not happy over here at Del City, or I'm not happy over here at Westboro or Western Heights, so I'm going to pack up and move and go to a different school. What is a guy like? You know, when we played ball, man, we were just dedicated to one school, man. I never saw myself packing up and saying, man, I'm going to go play for this guy because they got a smoke machine. I'm going to go play for this guy because they got great uniforms, or they got this, or they got a hell of a stadium there in Jinx. And so what is up with these kids? You know, why are kids are not loyal these days like they used to be? Because I think you build you know, like you said here, I know it was a tough decision for you to pack up and move, but that's home. You know, people can't get mad you're going home. You can't get mad going home. It's not like you left and went to Sapopa. It's not like you left and went to your brother Broken Arrow. You went home. And I was pushing you to go home because I think that's what you need to be as home. I mean, I know you talked about Coach Johnson's been there for a while, but I just think you're a good fit for Carl Albert, man. I mean, that's you. I mean, that's. I mean, you did a great job at Del City, but I think here you're going to keep that train rolling at Carl Albert. So I think Carl Albert got a great coach, a great man. And I'll tell you one thing I like about you, Coach D, and I'm not fooling you bullshit because you're on keeping it 100. I like that you get out and you go to different sporting events. I'll catch you at a wrestling match. I'll catch you at a basketball game. I'll catch you at a soccer game. I'll catch you at a track meet. That's you. You all about those kids. And some of these coaches not about that. All they're about, let me get on Twitter and show what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about our new hats. I'm going to talk about this and that. You're all about getting out seeing those kids. People can say, hey, I was tough on you when you went 3-8 or whatever you went, but I kept it 100 with you. Because I think we're still friends. We still talk. But I feel like you're all about the kids. I think you're going to get the kids, man. It's one thing that me and your dad talk about. You try to get those kids. People don't realize you're going into a different situation now where you got a lot of support with Carl Albert. They got a touchdown club. Dale City, you didn't have a touchdown club. You did a great job with a lot of those parents over there, and I'm going to keep it 100 because I'm an African-American man. You did a great job with a lot of those African-American parents over there, making them happy because, I'm telling you right now, you try to get a lot of those kids in college. Every year you're putting 3 or 4 kids in college. It might not be 10 kids on the podium, but you're putting kids in college. And I guarantee a lot of your kids are still playing ball. They're not just fake news. They're real news. So that's one thing about it. Carl Albert's going to get a guy that's going to help get these kids recruited, and people are not going to leave. So I'm just telling you, man, everybody buy your ticket, jump on. I know a lot of people say, man, Tony, you don't like Carl Albert. Shit, I started liking Carl Albert when you got the job. And that's keeping it 100, baby. That's keeping it 100. Here we go.
Well, hey, we'll accept your fandom. We'll take it.
Hey, I love it. You never know. My daughter might be a Titan. You never know. She had Soldier Creek.
Hey, come on.
Yeah, hey. But no, Dunn, I'm excited, though, about, what you're going to do. I think you're doing a great job of helping getting kids recruited. I think people are going to be thrilled and not going to want to leave. I'm just telling you, man, they got a good man. And whatever Dale City go with, they're going to get a good coach, too. But, you got anything else to say to Coach Deeks? I know you hear the kids in the background. I know you got to get off here. He's a busy man, but thank you for, coming on with us real short. But anything else, E?
Yeah, I mean, just the last question to wrap it up. You got your family to tend to, but, Tony already advocated for you a lot, but I think people might want to hear it from you. What kind of man, coach, what are they getting out of Mike Dunn at Carl Albert?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, well, first off, they're going to get a guy that is going to care much more about the kid is becoming a great man, a great person, a great dad, whatever it is they do with their life, a great career man. That's going to be much more important than the wins and losses at the end of the day. That when you do that stuff and you make that first, if you make the culture right and you make you try to grow the person, if you make that the first thing, then you're going to win games. That always comes with it, and that's one thing you never have to worry about. But, that's something that they'll get with me is they're going to get somebody that's going to care much more about the person, about the kid, than I'm going to care about what they can do for me on Friday nights. I'm going to be a guy that's going to be at every single sporting event, like Tony said a while ago. I'm also a guy that I care about the whole school. I try to, one of the questions I asked Ms. Goggins, the principal, was how can I have a positive impact as an athletic director? What are some small things you think I can do right off the bat to have a positive impact on the entire school? And those are things that are important to me. I'm about everybody, about all the athletes. And I'm a family first guy. I let that be known. Right off the bat, right at the beginning, that the family is always going to come first to me. But, my second family, and there's a reason why I became a coach, because I had a second family in my athletic family at Carl Albert, and I had a bunch of coaches that showed me a great experience. And so that's something I never take lightly anywhere I'm at as a coach, is I want to make sure that I can give those kids an experience like I had. So one day, you look down and this is 18 years later. So sometime 18 years later, I'll be able to find one of our kids, and he'll be a coach.
That's perfect, man. I mean, can't be no better than that. Yeah. I tell you right now, if whoever listens to this podcast, if I'm a Carl Albert parent that kid's a junior, sophomore, freshman coming up, and you're getting to take these young men to go play 7-on-7 and do pad camps, I'm just going to tell you, man, that's going to just bring the IQ. Don't tell me Carl Albert's already really high, but you're getting that QB right now, because I'm telling you right now, Ben Harris never got to play 7-on-7 unless he played on Sooner 7. Now they get to do it at Carl Albert. And I'm telling you, that's going to be great, man, because I think, a lot of people don't like 7-on-7, but I love it because I think it helps the quarterback. Yeah, it's a standstill, but, hey, it helps him get the ball off his hand quick. And you did it at Dell City, but I just tell you, man, it's gonna be a good deal, them getting to get a chance to do that, because all the other mid-Dell schools do it. Now you add them to the mix, man, that's going to be a good thing. And that's one, like right there, that's one big positive thing you've already brought to the program. So those kids should be licking their chops, excited about that. And I know everybody talk about, we lost Ben Harris, but I'm gonna tell you like before, man. There was a J.T. Mamuto, that was a Hurts, there was this kid and that kid. There's been 35 different quarterbacks that's come through Colorado the last 10 to 15 years. Guess what? There's gonna be somebody that's gonna take the helm and take them to another state championship. And I know you're looking. They won 5, but guess what, Coach D? You got to go get 6 because it's gonna be called a 6-pack. It's gonna be called a 6-pack. So you go get it,
that's
man.
That's what I keep telling our kids. That's what I keep telling the kids is there's. In the last 5 years, they've done a lot of things that never happened at Carl Albert, with having an undefeated season out of all those state championships, and they never had an undefeated season. That happened a couple years ago.
Yes, sir.
The one thing that Carl Albert never has done is they've never won 6 in a row, but they won 5 in a row when I was in school.
Yes.
I was part of 4 of those, and so I told the kids the other day, I know exactly what it feels like to win 5 and then the pressure to win that next one. And I said, guys, there's been a lot of things done here, but the one thing is we never won 6, so that's our goal.
Well, Coach Dunn, we appreciate you coming on. I know you got. Are you gonna go catch any wrestling tonight or this weekend, or
no? We're hosting. Yeah, we're hosting regional basketball over here at Del City. So I'm here tonight. We've got Union and PC West tipping off at 6, and then Del City's playing at 7:30 against Ponca City. So we're full over here for basketball.
So are you double dipping right now? When are you going to take the full course meal over at Carl Albert? When are you going to say, hey, baby, this is my train. Let's get on it. Let's go. Hoop, hoop. So when does that kick off?
Well, I'll finish out the year doing AD stuff here, and I'm already over there in the afternoons working with the football team. And so really June 1 will really be the official start date, but unofficially, we're already working some things out right now, so I'm able to get over there and get to work. And that we'll see what happens in the next couple months. But June 1's the official.
Well, I'll tell you this though. Me and E, like we're doing spring ball, we like to get out and come see some of the up and coming stars like Buddy. Haven't really got a chance to. I've talked to him, but not talked to him. But we'd like to get out when you get going and come to some spring balls and some screen stuff and interview some of your kids and interview you live in person and. Just talk about the new era at Carl Albert, man. I think it's going to be one that everybody's going to like, man. Not saying it was, sometimes, Puff Daddy used to do. He'll take an old song and hit new beats with it. I think that's what you're going to do with Carl Albert. Ain't nothing going to really change, but you're going to just add a little funky fresh to it. So I'm excited.
Add a little flair.
Add a little flair. But Coach D, I know me and he's excited to have you on, man.
I appreciate it.
I'm telling you, man, I'm excited. Like, see what you're going to bring to the CA program. So. Tell the wife, kids, give them a kiss. Good luck with everything, and thank you for coming on. Keeping it 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. Take care, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, folks, that's Mike Dunn, the new head coach of the Carl Albert Titans, man. He was over at Del City. He's coached a little bit of everywhere, folks. But I tell you one thing that that I'm telling you, if you're a Carl Albert parent, alumni, or anybody that's part of the program, and you got a baby that's coming up, I'm telling you, folks, the guy is good with the Twitter. He's good, man. I'm just telling you. I remember watching.
You have to be nowadays because that's just how it's done now. We're in a new age of recruiting and everything. Coaches are on Twitter. They're hitting you in the Twitter DMs. You're dropping your film in their DMs or like under one of their tweets or something. That's just how it is nowadays.
I tell you right now, I think it's a good job. I know people say, man, he left Del City. But like I said, you're leaving Del City to go to a Carl Albert program that has a touchdown club, that has one of the best pep assembly coach. Principal Goggins is probably one of the best principals is involved. The basketball program, the baseball program. And then think about him. Even Coach Hodges had 9 kids this year go to state in wrestling, and you talk about a program that's been down in wrestling, but Coach Hodges just fought and clawed and he got those guys back. But Coach Valley and the baseball team, the girls softball team, every year. So it's kind of like having a Mazda, and he traded I'm take that back. Armada. He traded his Armada in and went and got him a Lexus. You know what I'm saying? Cause, not knocking nothing from Del City because I think Coach Jones will get that job over there, and I think they'll keep rolling. They're good friends, but Coach Jones is really good at getting kids recruited too. So Del City's not going to lack in any coaching because, if he keeps the task that he has, and Coach Jones still could be the defensive coordinator. Some coaches like to do that, but I just think with Coach Dunn, adding that 7-on-7, adding that spring ball that they never done with.
I think that's definitely what Carl Albert needed. They're already proven as a contender every year, But when you are a contender every year, and I've said this so many other times, but I'm just going to reiterate it. You've been winning championships for years and years and years, and you're only getting maybe one or two guys to go to college every year. There is something wrong with that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, winning state championships, that's a great thing. But your top priority should be the kids, getting them to college, still advocating for them, And one of my biggest things, with playing in my football career, I wasn't anybody. Like, nobody. I had no stars. I had no stats, no film. And, and my coach still came up and talked to me about, hey, if you want to get recruited, this is what you need to do. Like this, stuff like that. Those conversations still went on. And, that's why, I'll have such high praise for Coach Corbin and, the staff over there at Choctaw is because that's what they do. They're for the kids, even though I hardly ever contributed to Choctaw on the field. I know Coach Corbin still has my back. I can text him tomorrow and he'll, if I need help with something, he'll be right there to help me out, And, that's the guy that they're getting in Coach Dunn at Carl Albert. You can, this is my first time talking to the guy, but you could hear in his voice and the passion and, the excitement. He's ready to come back home. And, with the talent that they're going to have at Carl Albert, they lost a lot of guys, but the thing about Carl Albert, they always reload.
You got to rebuild. You got to rebuild. I think they're going to be right back in it. I think it'd be stupid at this point to, count them out this early because you just can't. It's Carl Albert. But, that's a great hire by Carl Albert. And I think it works out for both parties, Del City and Carl Albert, that Coach Woods that you were talking about. Jones, my bad. He's going to – I think he's going to step up. I saw from one of their kids on Twitter, one of their players, this is the guy that we want as our head coach. And he already has that respect from his guys and his team, Yes, sir.
That's what you want right there. So, it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out, but I don't think there's going to be any shortage of winning from Carl Albert.
I got one thing to say about Del City.
Yeah.
We had Reggie on the show way, way, way back, and he was talking about, man, the offensive coordinator should do this, they should do that. You think Coach Jones should hire Reggie as his
Reggie, I love you, man, but I think you make a much better spectator.
Yeah. I just had to throw that out there because Reggie was like, I'm the coach. That was my kids and everything he was saying. Reggie, go sit down and go lift a weight or two, man. I know he lost a lot of weight. He can't listen to the show. He's out in Cancun somewhere, but I just had to throw that out there though, man. Because Reggie, you know what? He might become the new head coach over there, though.
Maybe you never know.
You never know, man.
That'd be interesting.
Reggie might run over Coach Jones, but he can get the job. So Reggie will bring the bus on you in a minute, though. But no, man, that's good stuff, though, man. Congratulations to Coach Dunn and his family.
Oh, and another thing that I wanted to touch on, you mentioned it when you were talking to Coach Dunn, like, you're seeing these kids leave and stuff, and I think what might play a factor in that is that the athletes that we're looking up to are doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's you're right about that because you see these guys like, man, every time I look up, you got a kid transfer, man, and you're like, this kid was a 4-star, 5-star. So are these kids just like, man, I got this kid that's better than me, And I can speak on that a little bit because my kid is in college wrestling, and he had to rank a kid that's the ranked number 7 in the nation. Gabe beat him the first 2 times, and then the regionals is this week. So Gabe had to rank the kid again, and my mom like, man, why does he keep having to rank this kid? As a dad, you're like, man, why does my baby keep having to rank this guy? But I understand that kid is number 7 in the nation.
Yep.
Coaches want to give everything they can to give that kid a chance to make it. Gabe is just a freshman. This kid's a junior. Gabe did beat him again, so good luck to Gabe this weekend in college regionals. But these kids some don't go their way, they pack up and leave.
You're just seeing way too much of that nowadays. You're seeing it at the collegiate level, you're seeing it at the high school level. So, high school kids are looking at that. They see LeBron, go and leave. They go and form a super teams over there. They see Kevin Durant and Kyrie leave, and they go form a super team over there in Brooklyn. You're seeing it now with Deshaun Watson. He just came out and said, hey, I'm holding out this season, which, I think that's fully justified because that front office over there in Houston just isn't it. I want to see Deshaun Watson somewhere else, but when you're losing those guys,
it's easy for these kids to see.
Yeah, it's easy for those kids to see, I even had thoughts, I wasn't getting any playing time. at Choctaw. So I was like, okay, maybe I can look into, going somewhere else, maybe getting some playing time somewhere else. But at the same time, I sat down and I thought about it. I was like, I might not be getting on the field, but I'm learning things from the coaching staff to how to be a better man, how to be a better father, and just the support. And, we ended up having a good run at Choctaw, that my senior season, but, you see it and the kids are thinking like, hey, they're doing it. I can do it too, so that's just something I wanted to touch on.
No, man, you're right, Big E. It's a tough deal, but like I said, I'm excited for him. I think it's a good fit. Corley stepping down, but I think Corley's going to remain on the staff, so that's pretty cool. You're going to have two head coaches, and like you said, you had Coach Johnson there for the last 10 years calling the offensive plays. Now he got to build a new quarterback. And I don't think Cobb's going to have a hard time. Ben Harris was kind of thrown into the fire when the Valley went down, and he was kind of thrown into the fire. And guess what? The guy did a good job. He had a bunch of talent around him. And when you got that much talent, like you said, you got Buddy. Yeah, they might not have the same talent, but that's when other kids got to step up. Yeah, you lost to Lamar Curry. You lost to D'Angelo Shanks or Sharks, whatever you know, and Xavier Ware. You lost some big time named kids. But guess what? What happened to those kids get hurt?
Yep.
What happened to those kids get sick? You know what I'm saying? So the next man is up. So you got to look at those. Hey, I was planning on having these guys. That's kind of like my Lakers, man. Right now they lost 5 in a row. Could be 6 tonight. Davis.
So you a Lakers fan or you just a LeBron fan?
I'm a LeBron fan,
okay.
But I like Anthony Davis too. But I'm just saying, guess what? They're losing, and you think people look, oh man, Lakers gonna win it all. But then you start seeing these guys, and you don't have Anthony Davis, and LeBron is 35 years old, 36, whatever old he is, old as hell. He need to cut that hair and go bald. But when you have these guys that that's not stepping up like you thought they would, because it's so funny that one guy can't make a big difference and Anthony Davis make a big difference.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, man, and then you got Schroeder out, he's hurt, so hopefully you can get these guys back. But
okay.
These guys are, like I said, you are 100% right, man. Guys are just packing up and saying, oh, okay, I'm leaving, and these high school kids are doing the same thing. But like I said last week on the show, guys, please make sure you're doing it right, because one thing you don't want to happen is it's your senior year and you don't get to play. And I was kind of wrong. I said, Dax Garman, he didn't go to Allen. I'm sorry, he went to Salt Lake Carroll. So let me correct that. If anybody did see the show, said, what the hell is Tony talking about? But he did go to South Lake Carroll, not Allen. But, the funny thing is that, we dogged Dunn beginning of the year. We kind of talked about, man, what's wrong with Dell City? Reggie was talking about everybody should get fired over there. But, damn, Don got a raise,
Yeah.
he didn't get fired. He got, and I'm not, don't take it wrong saying I think Dell City's Colabor's a better job, but I just think it's a better fit, because when you can have a touchdown club, guys, if you've been to a Colabor game or Pep Assembly, my daughter cheered over there. I'm just telling you, man, the fans should come and support. That's one thing about them, man. They bring it out, man, and they got the golf cart. They're just dialed in, man. It's like a little town, man, and that little town right there on Post Road, man, they get dialed in and everybody come out. But folks, we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about 5A wrestling before we end the show after one of our sponsors. We'll be right back. Keep it at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Hey Zoe, I'm looking for some good insurance. Do you know anybody?
If you're tired of messing with the general, call Bobby Lewis. He can take care of your cars, house, boats, and even your pets. He has 2 locations. Del City, 4805 Southeast 44th Street. The number is 405-670-3665. And his new location is 1654 South Choctaw Road, Suite 107. Like a good neighbor, Bobby Lewis is there.
Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. I got the 5A state championship brackets for wrestling. So we're just going to get right into it right here. We got 5A 106 weight division. We got Cash Donnell from Piedmont taking on, let's see, it's hard to read, I'm telling you. Cannon Ackland from, you know what, Coll?
Collinsville, baby.
Collinsville, that's right.
Baby, Collinsville.
All right, so Collinsville.
I'm going to take the Collinsville's kids, going to take it. Good job, Collinsville. Go get your statement. Another state championship they're going to win this year. I think they won the last 3 in a row, so they'll get another one this year.
All right. And then at 113, in the finals, we got William Hager. I think I'm saying that right, from El Reno. And then he's going to be taking on Clay Gates, another Collinsville guy. So
I tell you, El Reno, they got a good coach, and Ty Lewis, man, he's done a great job with that program. He's kind of got that program turned around. So, good luck to those guys, man. I got a chance to see him, when we did the Kansas City Stampede last year. Funny guy. We all got to hang out and drink a couple Frosties, but real good coach, man. Good attitude. Always got a smile on his face. So good luck to hope he can get him a state championship there, and him have a champion up there in El Reno.
Yeah. And then moving on to 120, we got Grant Gober from Carl Albert. He's going to be taking on Aiden Boyd from what's that? CLAR. I'm trying to put my tongue on it. What school is it?
Is that Collinsville again?
No, CLAR.
Maybe be Claremore. Might be
Claremore. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I just
you're looking, like I said, we kind of talked about Coach Hodges and Carl Albert, and he's turned his program around big time, having 9 kids make it to state this year. And you see he got one in the final. So good luck to that young man. I think he's a hell of a wrestler. I heard some good things about him. So good luck to him. Banging the kid from Claremore, but I'm gonna put my money on the Carl Albert kid.
All right,
because they got a new head coach, football coach. I mean.
Yeah. Moving on to 5A 126, we got Mike Edwards from Glenpool. And then he'll be taking on Cole Brooks from Collinsville.
Collinsville's just loaded, man. I don't see those guys not, losing too many matches in the finals, man. They do it year in, year out. I mean, we even got to Jordan Williams that he'll be another state champion. So, good luck to that Collinsville kid. Glenpool. You made it, but you'll be putting on the second place medal.
5A 132, we got, Connor Riddles from Duncan. He'll be taking on another Collinsville guy in Cameron Steed.
Steed's a stud, man. The kid's a tough kid, man. Him and Jordan Williams are great workout partners, man. Steve's been around. I watched him from the Bluetooth days, from Tulsa to now, man. So, that kid will win a state championship. It might be his second or third, so he'll get another one tonight.
All right, moving on to 138. We got Bronson Burcham from CPS, and we got Caden Stanley from Claremore.
I don't know much about either one of those guys, but whoever wins, good luck to them.
Yeah. Moving on to 145. We got Angel Quesada from, that's not Tishomingo, is it?
It might be Tishomingo, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Tishomingo is 5A. They're not that big. I've been out to Tishomingo before. There ain't much out there. I could be wrong, though. And then we got Drake Ackland, another Collinsville guy.
Drake will win that. He's a stud. I think he's a move-in, so, yeah, he's a stud, too.
Yeah. And then moving on to 152. We got Augustus Edwards from Glenpool taking on another Collinsville guy. You see a lot of Collinsville guys.
Jordan Williams.
Yep, Jordan Williams.
Jordan Williams. I mean, he's a stud. Kid's a Fargo champion. I mean, he's a
25-0.
Yeah, he's a 4-time state champion. Kid's just a stud, man. He signed with Oklahoma State. He decommitted, so I don't know where he's going to go now. But kid's just a stud, man. I'm just telling you, man. The kid can start for most college programs right now. So whoever gets him next year is going to get a stud. So good luck to Jordan and winning his 4th state champion, 4-time state champion, baby.
Moving on to 160, we got. Let's see. It's so hard to find the names. Okay, so we got Riley Walborn from El Reno taking on Corey Hicks from Durant.
Corey Hicks is tough, man. Gabe Russell, Corey, and his brother when he was in high school. And he wrestled his brother just a couple weeks ago, or about a month ago, out of Wichita when they had a deal. He's at 157. Gabe bumped up and wrestled him in an exhibition match and beat him. But both kids are real good wrestlers. Durant just went in them little small towns, man, tough kid. But the Hicks boys are pretty tough, though. So I can see Hicks getting him a state championship tonight.
All right, moving on to 170. We got Garrett Wells from Glenpool taking on Ashton Stevenson from Claremore.
I tell you, you listen to this, you hear it in Collinsville, then you hear some Glenpool, and I tell you right now, Glenpool's done a pretty good job, have turned their wrestling program around and getting kids in the finals. So it's just right now they're just in a tough division with Collinsville because if you didn't have Collinsville, Glenpool probably could win a state championship, but it's not going to happen this year. So, but good luck to those two young men that's in the finals though. So somebody will be a champion tonight.
Yep. And then at the 182 division, we got Braden Gilkey taking on BK Seago. Gilkey being from Collinsville and Seago being from Claremore. Or Seago. I don't know how to pronounce it, but hopefully I didn't mess it up there. But
who would you put your money on that one?
Man, Tony, I don't watch wrestling, man.
You're probably going to put it on Collinsville. They got so many kids in the final, so I'm going with Collinsville.
Collinsville. All right.
That was a trick question.
I know. I'm not good with trick questions. Oh, I lost my place here. Hold on. There we go. Moving on to 195. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. We got, man, this is a hard name to pronounce. Michael Devereaux. I think I'm saying that right, from El Reno. He's going to be taking on Gabe Chesbro from, it says Bike. I don't know where that would be from.
I don't know. I'm going to go with the El Reno young man. Like I said, that's Tyloo having two kids in the finals, so that's impressive. I mean, that's good. If you can get one kid in the finals, man, to have 2 or 3 kids is just amazing. And Collinsville got about 5 or 6. So, like I said, they'll be sizing up for another ring this year. So, good luck to all. Like I said, good luck to all the teams, all the young men that's battling. We got a couple more weights, and we'll talk a little bit of high school basketball before we close up this show.
All right, and then in 220, we got Machiavelli Ramirez. What name that is? I think Machiavelli. Ain't that the name of a Nas album?
Oh no, that's a nice name.
That's a cool name, Machiavelli. And then we got Stephen Culberson from Duncan in the championship for the 220 division.
Don't know much about either one of those young men, but guess what?
I'm pulling for the Machiavelli guy. That's just
Machiavelli, cool, that's a pretty cool name, man. I bet he got a good-looking girlfriend too.
And then wrapping it up in 5A at 285. We got Rylan Hitt from EPS. I want to say that'd be Enid Public Schools, maybe. Is Enid in 5A now?
No,
I don't know.
Enid 6A.
They still are 6A? Okay. And then we got, taking him on will be Caleb Phillips from CPS. Again, don't know the abbreviations here, but
like I said, good luck to both of those guys. 6A kicks off tomorrow, folks, and me being a 6A guy, being around the 6A program the last 4 or 5 years. One thing about it, Edmond North is taking 9 freshmen into a state championship. So Coach Snyder has done a great job with his team this year. But I tell you, 6A is wide open, from a Bigsby to an Edmond North to a Broken Arrow to a Mustang to a Stillwater. I mean, it's loaded, folks. And I think I'm gonna try to go down tomorrow night, watch the finals, and get to hang out and see some of these kids, maybe interview some. Keep it at 100. We're starting to get kind of popular, so I think I'm gonna get an immediate pass. So that's pretty cool that I got hooked up with that. But we're trying to bring you wrestling. It's been kind of tough this year to get out to any of the duels because of what's going on. But I did get a chance to go out there tonight while we jump into basketball. I got to go watch Calumet on Tuesday night. They played out at Okarche, and Jacob Mayfield, we become friends with him. Our daughters play basketball together, but got the chance to watch his team play, and his best player kind of hurt his knee. I think he only scored 4 points, but I think they're either Class A or Class B. But they play tonight out there in Enid. But I just tell you, man, watching it's so funny to watching, those small little towns, man. I mean, the fans were into it, the student body was into it, and I just tell you, it's weird because not one person had a mask on. I thought COVID was over. Me and Zoe sitting there, and Jacob, his wife Molly, we're all sitting there. We got a mask on, but everybody else in the stands is like mask free. So, folks, I mean, still do your part, man. And wear your mask and do the things you got to do. I know me and Ian got it, but I can say I got my shot today, so I'm 1 shot in. So, I'm a diabetic, so I mean, I want to try to protect myself. It's weird, but I just tell you, still do the things you got to do to protect others around you. Because granted, you might not think you have COVID or whatever, and that's why a couple of times we've done some shows, from our home, from his home to my home. But guys, just do the right things. But OSSA is doing a great job, limiting the how many people can get in, and I think that's good because. I just tell you the other night watching that basketball game, and not taking that from because it was a good game to go watch and all that, but people not having masks on were just like, holy cow, these people here don't think it's in Calumet, another little town they played. They don't think it's COVID exists. So just please take the proper stuff that you got to do, wearing a mask, cover your face, whatever you got to do. But just be safe for the others, kids, because think about it. When these kids get the virus now, it takes away his chance of trying to win a state championship in football. I'm sorry, between basketball or wrestling. So please do the right things. We got some good games going in. Like you said, you heard Coach Dunn talk about, Del City's going to take on Ponca City. PC West is playing tonight. Who are they taking on?
I got the girls brackets coming up. I think they just played their regionals. I think they just finished up not too long ago.
Who's that?
The girls basketball regional.
I thought they were starting tonight because somebody said Top Girls was taking on.
So today is the 26th. We got Broken Arrow taking on Bartlesville and 6A girls.
Hey, E, real quick, did you catch that score of Jones girls? They beat a team 108 to 18.
Wow.
108 to 18. Jenny.
Yeah, Coach Gober got it over.
You should be ashamed. You was yelling at me a couple weeks ago when we went up to Wichita and beat those teams 75-0, and you did the same thing in a high school basketball game. Man, they got to be fun to watch, man. To score 108 points.
That's crazy.
Man, that's amazing. So good luck to the Jones girls, man. Good luck to all the teams out there, man, because the biggest thing you're playing for is to win you a state championship, from a wrestling, like it's to basketball. That's one of the greatest feelings ever to win that, and some people's going to come up short, but the ones that do win it, man, keep your head up, be proud of what you done, what you work hard for, because especially with what's going on in this world with COVID right now, hopefully we can get everything back together in by next season, that you can go to football games and you can have all the feel of being at a game and being in an arena, because I tell you, watching these high school, not high school, but the college and the pro games, it's kind of boring not having fans, man. I like to see the fans there yelling and screaming. Yes, it's crazy, though. So it's been crazy, though. But real quick, I'm going to give a shout out to the Lady Hustle. They won last week in a fundraiser tournament, man. Playing BTR, Lenny Burt's his little AAU teams he has out there. But the girls played tough, though. But, man, it's just this great competition watching girls basketball. Got to see some good teams from the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. A team called Lady Lions out there, man. Coached by a young lady, man. She did a really good job. They played Showtime in the finals. And good shout out to Eric Sanford, our main man from Linex, He did the play-by-play for the girls, man. It made it really, really cool, doing a high school. He did like a high school game, but little league, doing a play-by-play, talking about they scored a bucket, a turnover. If you guys have never seen Eric, he does the voice for Choctaw Wrestling. The guy is great, and I tell the guy the other night,
I got to talk to him. That's kind of what I'm trying to get into, doing play-by-play.
I mean, it was fun. He did a great job, and great job to Andy Collier and Brad and Chris putting on the show. Got a chance to see Coach Dunn over there. It was so funny because I asked Coach Dunn on Saturday, did he get the job? And he just kind of giggled on his face, which, I keep beating that same drum, but he was probably the best man for the job. There's a guy, like I still talk about, David White, is a great football coach, man. I hope he ever gets his dream to come back home and coach, but right now it's not happening, but I hope somebody do take a chance on him because he is a great coach. Any closing thoughts? Or anything you want to talk about before we get out of here? I know you want to go over some basketball real quick?
Yeah, we can go over some basketball. I'll just briefly go over the 6A girls regional brackets. So they did end up playing last night. I'm seeing all these games from the 25th. So we had, see if I can just pull it up on Squirtle real quick. Okay. So we had UConn beating Norman North, Sand Springs beating Ponca City, Edmond Memorial beating Broken Arrow, Mustang putting the whooping down on Northwest Classens, 82-16.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then another whooping, Edmond North dropping 104 on Enid, only scoring 28. Dang. And then Norman winning over U.S. Grant 73-5. Seeing a lot of blowout wins here.
Did they bring their JV team or what? I mean, that's just embarrassing. 5 points in 4 quarters. You shouldn't even have a basketball program. You should give up the basketball program.
Oh. All right. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
That's bad.
Yeah,
man.
that's bad.
That's bad. I mean, that's bad.
And then moving on, see Muskogee winning over Putnam City West 52-49. Deer Creek barely getting over the win over Westmore. My cousin's alma mater. She played she played high school basketball over there at Westmore. Got Edmond Santa Fe beating Putnam City 45-35. Union beating Bartlesville 64-38. Choctaw putting a pretty good performance over Southmore, beating them 70-31.
Man. And
then we got Stillwater beating Booker T. Washington 48-43. Putnam City North beating Lawton 78-36. Midwest City getting the win over Owasso 51-36.
Damn.
And then Moore beating Dell City 60-31. And then last but not least, we got Bixby beating Jinx 67-23. So not only is Bixby winning in
boys sports,
they got it rolling in girls sports too.
Take care of them girls sports.
Yep. But that's pretty much all I got for the show. We appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you follow me. Go follow me on Twitter at Ethan_Z_Davis. Pretty sure that's what I'm at now. And then I don't ever remember. And then you can follow Tony at High Keeping,
baby.
And then,
not marijuana high, just high keeping. You know what I'm saying? So get it straight. Don't get your mind out together. Real quick, we'll have Matt
Thompson. We'll have him on next week. He's with Pro Skills. We talked with Ayers Gooden from Pro Skills earlier a few weeks ago, but now we got Matt Thompson coming on. He's got some ballers in his household, and plus he's the man behind the Clutch Culture brand. If you live anywhere in the Midwest City, Dell City area, Choctaw, you've seen this guy's gear everywhere. It's pretty popular around the area. So we'll have him on the show next week. Pretty excited about that. I've known Matt for a while. He's a leader at my church. He's been a guy that I look up to, for a while. He's just a really cool guy. So excited to have him on next week.
Real quick before we close it up, though, you talked about his gear, man. His gear is really, really nice. So we'll have him put some of his stuff on there. Maybe, you can order some of his stuff. But even to keep it 100 awesome. Gear is pretty nice. I've had people, get it. It's starting to pick up, going to get us some hats, maybe some more hoodies and some polos because we'll start going out in the fields as the spring comes. We'll start going out and doing some of the high school, practices and then some of the baseball games and talking to some of the stars in baseball. Like I said, we're still going to do our scholarship. I've already got the guys that's going to pay for that. So don't think that's just a joke that we're saying, but it's something that we're really going to do. We're going to give one away in the spring and one away in the fall because, like I said, us helping a young man or young lady out goes a long way than us putting that money in our pocket. That's just keeping it 100. I don't need the money. I think there's a young man or woman out there, a lady out there that needs it more than me and he does. So we'll keep doing our thing. Keep trying to bring you the best we can in podcasts. Our shows are kind of falling off, but I think once you kind of get back into football, everybody wants to talk football. So this should be a great episode. We'll start trying to get back to doing the
we'll try to start getting back on maybe hear some feedback from you guys if that's something that you want. Leave a comment on the YouTube video. If you want to see us come back on Spotify, Apple, all that, we can do that for sure. And other than that, make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment. We like feedback, y'all. Go ahead. If I said something stupid, let me know, and then we can talk about that. Same thing with Tony. I think he says maybe more stupid things than I do. He might be hitting his mentions a little more than mine, but
hey, all I do is try to keep it 100. Hey, I just try to keep it 100. But I love that. But I tell you, he's right though. Feed us back though, because like I said, we've been doing this show almost maybe 6 months now. I don't know.
Yeah, we're nearing up a year, I want to say August.
We're up to about 80, 88 subscribers on YouTube, and I just think that we need to keep going. And guys, man, tweet us back on Twitter, man. Don't look at it. Say something back, man. We're here for every school. We're not just here for the schools here. We're here for every school, man. We're excited about everything that goes on in high school sports. Like I said, excited about Peyton winning her state championship. So congratulations to her and her family, and hope she goes celebrate. Girl, you go eat all the ice cream you want right now, Oreo cookies. So thank you for joining another great episode of What?
Keep it 100, Oklahoma,
100,
High School Sports.
High School Sports.
Yes, sir. See ya.